The mode is the most frequent value in a sample or data set. R has no built-in mode function, and there's a number of ways that we can go about calculating it. In this video, I'll demonstrate two methods for calculating the mode in R, one that I've come up with, and another that I've come across when searching to find out how other people were computing the mode. So my mode function I've called my mode, and the alternative mode I'm calling alt mode. So I'm going to run this code to put these two functions into our environment. Now I'll begin with my mode. Let's take it apart piece by piece. So what I'm doing is I'm tabulating the values in X. So let's get an X value, and we'll do it line by line. So I'm going to use a built-in data set. So if we look at the built-in R data sets, I'm going to use one called presidents. So it's the approval rating for US presidents on a quarterly basis. So if I look at presidents in the help, so the quarterly approval ratings from 1945 to 1974. And if I type presidents, I'll see the data. So those are all the approval ratings. We want to find what the mode is. What's the most frequent rating that comes up? So let's put the values into a variable. And so we see all of the values here. And if we want to use my mode, let's my mode on X. I'm going to store that into a variable M. And let's see what M contains. So my mode returns this heading 71 and this value 8. What this says is the mode is 71 and it comes up 8 times. Now in my mode function, let's bring up the code here, there's an extra step. So if I want to get the value, I do as numeric M, and that'll return the number of occurrences. But if I want the mode itself, so the 71% that comes up most often, I do as numeric names. So these are the column header. In this case, there's only a single column header, which is the mode. And I get it here. So there's an extra step involved. Now, if we want to look and see what table does, so we're looking at my mode function. We'll start with table of X. And these are all of the percentages here at the top from 23 up to 87. And the number below are the number of occurrences. So 32% happened 4 times on 4 different quarters. And if we go through, we see 71 happened 8 times. So this is our mode right here, 71 and 8. So 71 is the mode and 8 is the frequency. Now if we sort this, sort table X decreasing, so we want it in decreasing order. So that'll put the most frequent element first. So 71 comes first with 8 occurrences. And then if we want to extract that, we want the first item in this vector or this array. And that gives us our result for my mode. The alternative mode that I found, my alt mode function here, will return 71. So let's try this. Alt mode on X returns 71. But we don't get the number of times it does occur. Now this one's quite nice. It might be kind of hard to see what's happening here. There's quite a number of composed functions. It's a very concise statement to return the mode. But if we look at our values, so let's do it line by line, unique X, and let's type UX. So those are all the unique values for the approval ratings. Now if we want to match it with X, so these are the actual approvals and then all the unique values. So this will go through all of the values in X and match them with the unique ones. So if we look at match, it matches all the positions in this vector. So the number of times X occurs in UX, or where X occurs in UX. So from there, we want to tabulate this information. Tabulate, match, which tabulates a lot like the table function, but it's a little bit more concise. This will give us for each of the unique values. So if we look at ux, which are the uniques, here it lists the number of times they occur. And here we see the 8. So whatever corresponds to 8, we need to match that within our unique array. So to index the array, to find out where this maximum happens, we use which.max, which will give us the index inside of ux where this maximum occurs. And that's at position 26, or the 26th element of ux. So if we take this statement again and use it to index the ux array, or the ux vector, we get 71. And that concludes this video on computing the mode in R.